All right, YouTube, I think it's time for a change. You ever paint your walls, step back and think, yeah, that works, it's great. And then 6 months later happens and you're standing there with your coffee in hand, realizing your living room has the same color palette as banana bread. That was me with Benjamin Moore's Dove Wing. Not to say it was a disaster, it just slowly wore me down. I picked Dove Wing way too fast. I had just moved in with my wife, boxes everywhere all over our brand new beautiful house, and I wanted the painting done before I started unpacking. I told myself, let's go with something neutral, warm, safe, bright. It looked like the perfect off-white placeholder, and that's kind of what it was. Honestly, it was great at first. It was. It was bright, soft, slightly creamy. It made the house feel finished when everything else was chaos. But Dove Wing is one of those colors that changes depending on your lighting. And I've got southern exposure, so I have lots of natural light, warm all day, really. That light took what looked like a soft ivory and dialed it up to full-on sunshine. In the mornings, it was gentle and inviting, but by midday, it was like the walls were trying to tan, just baking in the sun.
I've been tanning my whole life.
Everything started to look overly golden. Are you looking for a full-service online color consultation? Check out the link below because we are offering a personalized color consultation service with Maria, our full-time consultant. You can have a back-and-forth communication to make sure you're picking the right colors for your space. Details are all below. Now, I don't mind warm colors. A lot of my decor is warm. I got earthy greens, harvest gold accents, natural wood tones, taupes, some gray. It's not that the walls clashed. They just melted into everything. There was little contrast even with brighter walls, not a lot of definition. Everything was kind of warm on warm, beige on beige in a way, and it got visually heavy. Not the look I was going for. When you walk into a space and everything is the same temperature, the eye doesn't know where to rest. It's cozy for about 10 minutes, then you start craving balance. Something cooler or crisper to offset it. Dove Wing didn't give me that. It was just constantly kind of warm. The other issue? Dove Wing is not the most forgiving color in the real world. It's not overly bright white, but it's still an off-white. So it does not hide scuffs. It's essentially light enough that every mark still shows. You'd think a soft, warm neutral would help camouflage things, but it actually emphasized dirt, fingerprints, and those little wall dents that magically appear when you're moving furniture. In my hallway especially, high traffic, lots of natural light, every imperfection glowed. If my walls could talk, they'd be saying, look at this smudge. Looks great, eh? It became one of those paint colors you're always trying to wipe clean, but the more you touch it, the worse it looked. Like the finish would start to change. It was a lot. So between the relentless warmth and the maintenance, I started feeling done with it. Dove Wing is beautiful in the right space. It's actually quite nice in north-facing rooms, cooler decor, somewhere you want a soft, creamy glow. But in my southern-facing home, full of warm tones, it's like eating dessert for every meal. You just get tired. The biggest lesson here, rushing paint choices almost always backfires. I picked Dove Wing because I wanted to get painting over with, not because I truly tested it. And that's coming from the always test your colors guy. I'm not perfect. If I had sampled it properly, I would have seen that warmth coming from a mile away. Lighting plays a huge role here. Same color, 2 rooms, completely different results. That's why you always test a few large samples on your actual walls, not just on a tiny swatch or a screen, even worse. Colors live differently in your home than they do in a showroom. So after living with it for a while, I decided it was time for a change. And something that still felt light and neutral, but more balanced, less yellow, more grounded. Something that gave my furniture and artwork space to breathe instead of blending everything together. I won't spoil it just yet, but I did find a color that does exactly that. It completely changed the mood of the house. It's softer, calmer, and way easier to live with day to day. The color reveal is coming in the next video, so make sure you're subscribed because this time I actually took my own advice.